Okay, so somebody went looking. That's where I need to start because that's what's coming through first, and it's not subtle. Somebody went looking. They typed something into a search bar. They were intentional about it. They weren't stumbling, they were hunting. And they found something. And the first thing they did, the first thing was go tell somebody else. And I need to talk about why this is happening right now specifically, because we just hit June 5th and Juno, which is the asteroid of commitment, of partnerships, of what are we energy. Juno just went retrograde in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules the internet. It rules information networks. It rules groups of people. Juno retrograde in Aquarius is literally the energy of commitments being researched, people going back through digital history, people in your past who had some kind of claim on you, or thought they did, suddenly feeling that pull to go dig something up. And Pluto has also been retrograde in Aquarius since May. So we've got two planets retrograde in the sign of collective information, networks, and exposure. Whatever this person found, they didn't find it by accident. They were looking because something about you has been living rent-free in their head, and they needed to do something with that. What they were hunting. Okay, so this person, and I'm getting past energy here, like someone you've known, they were looking for something specific. They thought they knew what they were going to find. They already had a story built in their head, and they just needed something to attach it to. Mercury just moved into Cancer on June 2nd. Mercury in Cancer is private. It's emotional. It holds things close. The information that's been circulating about you, it didn't come from you. It never comes from you. You don't broadcast. You don't announce. You are not out here telling people your next move. And that is exactly the problem. For them. Your silence reads as suspicious to people who can't imagine doing anything quietly. So they went looking because you weren't giving them what they wanted, which was access. And now let me be clear about who this person is, because it matters. This is not a stranger, okay? I want to say that clearly. This is someone with history. I'm getting school energy, or grew up in the same area, or there was a period of time where you two were actually close, or in the same circle, or there was something between you that meant something at one point. This isn't random. This person knows enough to know where to look. They know your name. They might know your handles. They know something specific enough that they could go find you. The search. And here's where it gets, okay, this is the part I need you to hear. What they found, they lied about it. Or they built a story around it that wasn't true. I'm not getting that they found something real and ran with it. I'm getting that they found something, maybe neutral, maybe something you posted, maybe just your existence doing well, and they constructed a narrative that was false, and then they took that narrative to other people. I'm hearing, and this is for some of you specifically, someone may have claimed intimacy with you that never happened, like claimed a story, claimed an encounter, claimed, I know them like that, when they don't, when they never did. This person needed to look like they had information, like they had access, like they were someone who knew you, and the lie was the currency. They went to a group. I'm seeing multiple people, 4 or 5, up to 7 individuals, who all got fed this version of you that someone constructed. And for a minute, people believed it, because this person was convincing, because they had just enough real details, your name, your face, something they actually found, that the rest of it sounded plausible. And this is where I need to take a breath, because the energy around you specifically is so different from the energy around them, and I don't want to skip over it. Who you actually are. You are steady. I keep coming back to this word, steady. Not because you haven't been through things, but because you have been through things and you're still standing in the same foundation you built. Nobody gave you this. You laid this. Brick by brick. Quiet. Nobody watching. Nobody clapping. And that foundation, that's what they can't shake. That's what made them go searching in the first place, because you look like someone who has something, and they don't understand how. You're also, okay, you're kind. Like, genuinely. You're not the person people think you are if they're listening to the version that got passed around. You're someone who keeps their head down and handles business and doesn't go out of their way to harm anyone. And I feel like some of the people who were told this story about you are starting to figure that out, because what they were told doesn't match what they can actually see. And by the way, if you are watching this and you're into spirituality in any capacity, somebody tried to call that fake too. They tried to say you're performing something you don't actually have. And I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. And I just need to say, whoever needs to hear that, keep doing what you're doing. They called it fake because it was working. Okay, so now, and this is important, the Juno retrograde. Let me come back to that. Juno retrograde in Aquarius through the end of summer is going to pull some commitments back up for review. And I don't mean that in a scary way. I mean it in a this is being shown to you for a reason way. Because some of what this person stirred up, it's connected to a commitment. Either a commitment you're in, one you're walking away from, or one that someone thought they had with you that you never signed up for. That retrograde is asking, what did you actually agree to? And more importantly, what did someone assume they were owed that you never promised them? the commitment they thought they had. Okay, so there it is. This person felt entitled to access to you, to information about you, to a version of you that they could show other people. And when you stopped giving them that, when you got quiet, when you moved different, when you started showing up in a way that made it clear you don't need them, that's when the searching started. This is also the waning dark moon phase right now, moving toward the new moon in Gemini on June 14th. We are in the part of the lunar cycle where things that have been hidden come to the surface before they're released. Old energy comes up, so it can be finished. What's happening with these people talking about you? This is the surfacing. This is the last gasp of something that has been trying to stay alive by feeding off your name. It doesn't get to keep doing that. What's actually happening to them right now? Okay, so they're not okay. And I say that not to be petty, but because it's what I'm seeing. The people who were told this story about you, they're starting to pull back from the person who told it. Because when you spread something about someone and then that someone keeps existing in a way that contradicts the story you told, the people around you start wondering what else you lied about. She's feeling it, or he is. They're feeling that withdrawal, that cold shoulder from the people they thought were their people, and they know why. They know exactly why, but they're not going to admit it. They're going to double down or go quiet or try to find something else, some new angle, to justify what they did. Meanwhile, you are over here receiving good news, and I want to say that plainly. Whatever it is that you have been building, it is working, and people are starting to see it, not in a loud, announced way, but in the way that matters, the slow recognition. Oh, she's actually that, or wait, he's been doing what kind of recognition. If you have any kind of online presence, and I think some of you do, what this person tried to use to bring you down ended up bringing people to you. They went searching and found you, and some of those people liked what they saw. That's the irony. That's the whole irony of this situation. And if you're resonating with this reading, make sure to go and subscribe my channel where I am readings more regularly. I put everything into these, and your support genuinely keeps this going. Now for some of you, this splits here. For some of you, this story ends with those people fully irrelevant and you walking into something new in love. For others of you, there's still a little untangling left. And I want to address both. The offer coming in. For those of you walking into something new, there is a person. And they are not like the people who've come before. I'm getting opposite energy. Like where you are warm and expressive, this person might be more reserved on the outside, more composed, but underneath that, deep. And they have been paying attention to you. Not in the surveillance way we've been talking about, in the ICU way, in the way that's quiet but consistent. This is not a rushed connection. This is something that builds. And right now, with Mercury in Cancer pulling feelings inward and us moving toward the Gemini new moon, the intention you set in the next 10 days around love is going to carry real weight. Like sit down and be honest with yourself about what you actually want from someone. Not what you've settled for, not what's been offered, what you want. For those of you still untangling, you might be walking away from a King of Fire energy right now, someone who was charismatic, someone who drew you in, but who also showed you their capacity for deception. You already know this. Some part of you has known for a while. The Eight of Cups energy, walking away towards something rather than running from something, that's what's available to you. It's not loss, it's direction, the cycle that's closing. And this is the one I want to sit with for a second, because it's big. There has been a cycle, I think it's been years, honestly, of deceptive energy around you. People who got close and then used that closeness against you. People who wore one face and then showed another. People who tried to end something for you. A relationship, a goal, even just your peace, because they couldn't stand watching you have it. That is closing. The World card energy, the Judgment energy, it's not just closing, it's closing with receipts. Meaning, the people who did this are being seen now. Not by you announcing it, not by you doing anything, just by the natural consequence of what they set in motion. What they planted is coming back to them. And you didn't have to touch it, you just had to keep going. Virgo energy here for some of you, or someone in this situation carries Virgo. Leo also around this situation, someone who thought they were the star of a story you weren't even in. And here's what I want you to hear before I close this out. The reason they went searching is because you are already the thing they wanted to be. You don't have to say that. You don't have to perform it. It's just true. And the fact that you've been quiet through all of this, that you've kept moving, kept building, kept being kind when people were hoping you'd fall apart, that says everything. You are the matriarch energy here. Fits the way you describe yourself or not, you are the one who holds things together. The one who does the work without the announcement. The one who people can't quite explain but can't look away from either. You. Going forward. They tried to make you smaller by talking about you. And what they did instead was put your name in more mouths. Some of those mouths belong to people who are now in your corner. Be flattered. Genuinely. Because if you weren't the thing, nobody would be bothered. Nobody goes looking for something that doesn't matter. Nobody constructs a lie around someone they're not scared of. You're not stopping. You're not explaining yourself. You're not going back to address any of it. You're going forward. That's the move. That's always been the move. So if this reading hits, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I love you guys. See you in the next one.